Coming up tonight, President Trump speaks out about the CNN lawsuit.
College students and community members speak out at the City College Town Hall.
And a Syracuse car thief steals a car with a 4-month-old baby in the backseat.
WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Dan Corlett.
And I'm Brianna Watson.
A lawsuit originally pertaining to one reporter has now turned into a fight that will affect a number of journalists. According to CNN, their lawsuit arguing the defense of reporter Jim Acosta has repercussions stretching to a number of other journalists who are subject to the same censorship. The lawsuit is attempting to lift a restraining order keeping Acosta from any press events at the White House, and they are looking for a judge to rule on whether the decision was constitutional or not.
A joint statement was released signed by multiple news outlets, including Fox News, NBC, the Associated Press, USA Today, the New York Times, and many others. The statement said White House reporters should never be banned for arbitrary reasons, and they must be free to ask questions. Many of the news outlets that signed the statement also said that they will file Friends of the Court briefs on behalf of CNN. In response to the lawsuit, the Justice Department says the White House rejects the idea that it can't decide which journalists can be given a permanent press pass. College students and community members of Oswego County had the opportunity to raise questions and voice their concerns about the City of Oswego's social host law. Last night, SUNY Oswego President Deborah Stanley and Oswego County Mayor Billy Barlow were in attendance at the City College Town Hall meeting. The social host law recently passed in the City of Oswego was one of the main topics of discussion. Mayor Barlow explained the purpose of the municipal law is to limit the amount of large and excessive parties in residential neighborhoods and to prevent underage drinking.
A high-speed police chase ended in a crash, damaging a stolen vehicle. Last night, police responded to a call reporting a reckless driver headed north on Interstate 81. 25-year-old James J. Dunn refused to pull over, resulting in a chase which reached a reported top speed of 110 miles an hour. Dunn was driving a stolen 2008 GMC Envoy, which he crashed into a parked car after a 20-minute chase. Dunn faces a number of charges ranging from third-degree criminal possession of stolen property, fleeing the police, and possession of a controlled substance. Dunn is being held without bail.
Oswego County election officials are counting absentee and affidavit votes one by one this week to make sure every vote is accounted for in the New York 22nd Congressional District. Democratic challenger Anthony Brindisi had a slight lead over Republican incumbent and Congresswoman Claudia Tenney by just 1,293 votes. With 1,000 votes to be counted, the Oswego County Board of Election officials believe the counting for Oswego should be finished by Friday. Now let's take a quick look at the weather with Storm Team 10 meteorologist Bobby Bianco. Hey Bobby.
Thanks, guys. I'm currently outside, and it is very cold. Temperatures in the 20s, and even as you go into higher elevations, in the single digits. But currently, it is dry, but that'll change as we head into tomorrow, and especially tomorrow evening. And we currently have winter weather advisories over Oswego, northern Cayuga, even up towards Watertown, winter storm watches for Syracuse on south and east. Currently, looking at our satellite and radar, we have mostly cloudy conditions, but again, it's dry and quiet. But that'll change as we head into tomorrow. But looking further south, that is the big play. That is our storm system in the Mississippi region, bringing snow to Arkansas. Even Louisiana got snow from this, and it should be in our area as we head into tomorrow. That's all for right now. Back to you guys.
Thanks for that, Bobby. A newly installed plaque commemorating World War I veterans was recently revealed on campus at SUNY Oswego. Reporter Alexander Griffin was on scene to capture this unique event following on the 100th anniversary of the armistice.
Veterans Day 2018 marked a historic time for SUNY Oswego. The brave men and women who fought for our country overseas were officially immortalized in way of a memorial plaque near Sheldon Hall at SUNY Oswego.
Outside Sheldon Hall, we are moments away from the presentation of the memorialized plaque by Deborah F. Stanley, president of SUNY Oswego, as well as the town supervisor of Oswego, New York.
President Stanley had expressed her utmost sincerity towards this impactful memento and stressed the importance of gratitude for our rights and freedoms as citizens as a result of the armed forces' bravery and tenacity.
These were individuals who did not fight on our soil. They went to represent America. They went to fight to guarantee and defend democracy and to make our way of life insured.
The plaque honors 20 brave individuals from the Oswego Normal School, including student Jesse Merle Hewitt, who lost his life in France in 1918. Town Supervisor Rick Kalfas shared President Stanley's sentiment and reverence towards those who died for our freedom.
I think it's really important to recognize that veterans have contributed a lot to our society in a lot of different ways, and they keep us free.
Alexander Griffin reporting.
The public may visit this plaque along Washington Boulevard, aside Sheldon Hall at SUNY Oswego. There was a baby on board during a carjacking Sunday evening outside a Syracuse home. A mother left her 4-month-old baby in an unlocked running car as she went inside a relative's house. When she came back, the car and her child were gone. According to Syracuse police, the thief was most likely not aware the child was in the back seat. The baby was found unharmed within a few minutes afterwards by a neighbor 2 streets over. The car was found later on near Scott Home Boulevard. The mother was charged with endangering the welfare of a child and ticketed for leaving a motor vehicle running. So far, no arrests have been made.
Well, it looks like Amazon will not be putting their new corporate headquarters in central New York after all, but one of the area's top economic development officials think Amazon's choice of Long Island City in Queens would be good for the region. Amazon announced Tuesday their second headquarters will be split between Queens and the Crystal City area of Arlington, Virginia. In 2019, Amazon will occupy up to 500,000 square feet at One Court Square while constructing 4 million square feet of commercial space of Long Island City's waterfront over the next 10 years.
Syracuse police are on the lookout for a man matching the description of the armed suspect who robbed a bank on James Street. The suspect entered the bank yesterday afternoon and handed the teller a handwritten note demanding money and threatening harm to other patrons if the money was not handed over. The teller handed the money to the suspect, and after which the suspect fled in the direction of East Willow Street. Police described the assailant as a light-skinned black male dressed in black sweatpants and hooded sweatshirt. If you have any information, submit them to the tip line at 315-442-5222. Coming up later tonight, we have a story about a Disney World fan who got banned after waving a Donald Trump banner.
And the Israel defense minister resigns.
This is WTOP 10 Nightly News, and we'll be right back.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No,
right
but you've
here.
got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
So good to see you guys.
So, what's up? Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Is it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
And good evening. I'm your Storm Team 10 meteorologist, Robert Bianco. Taking a look at our watches and warnings for our storm system for tomorrow. We can see that we have a winter weather advisory for Oswego, northern Cayuga, even up towards Watertown. And as we head towards our Syracuse area, we have a winter storm watch where we can expect even more snow than the winter weather advisory. I'll have more on that later. Taking a look at our radar and satellite, cloudy conditions for right now. Pretty dry, pretty quiet conditions. But our temperatures are a big story for tonight, as they're around the 20s and even up in the single digits in the higher elevations. But for tomorrow, this is our main story. This storm system right here in the Mississippi region, bringing snow towards Missouri, St. Louis, even Arkansas and Louisiana had snow today. And this will come to our area for tomorrow. This for right now, the storm will be coming up, and for your tomorrow morning around your morning rush, it should be very dry, and this will change as we head towards your evening rush tomorrow evening. The snow showers will begin to come into the area, and this will continue throughout your night on Thursday night. And if you're going out, bring a winter coat. It is going to be very sloppy, very snowy. And these darker blues, wherever these set up, these are going to be the heavier snow bands, so you can see even more snow, even possibly over a foot, especially in the higher elevations, as I will show later. But for your Friday morning commute, conditions will be drying out, mainly light snow showers, and that'll continue throughout your day. Again, maybe some light lake effect snow around the higher elevations, such as the Tug Hill Plateau. And as we head towards our snow totals, we can see generally 3 to 6 inches on the lake shore, and heavier snow for Syracuse, even further south and east towards Utica, where we can see totals up over a foot of snow, even 12 to 18 inches towards Utica, where those purples are. And as we head towards our 7-day, Thursday, we have our snow totals. We have our snow for Thursday night, temperatures in the 20s. Friday, the snow showers will be ending, but remember to be safe out there if you're driving, as conditions will be messy. Saturday, we have another little precipitation. We have another little storm system coming in. It'll be in the mid-30s. Slippery conditions are expected. Sunday is your best day for the weekend. Temperatures in the low 40s, mainly cloudy skies, however. And as we head towards next week, snow showers will continue. Due to some lake effect snow showers, temperatures in the 40s and 30s. So again, very below normal for temperatures and snowfall for this time of year. That's all for right now. Stay tuned for more news and sports after the break. You're watching WTOP 10 Nightly News.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No,
right
but you've
here.
got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, helping solve child hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. The pressure's too much. I quit.
I get it.
I can do better. Just please don't leave.
Don't let your heart quit on you. Get your uncontrolled high blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late.
We taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. An attempt to go viral has resulted in an expulsion from the Magic Kingdom. 49-year-old Dion Cini has been permanently removed from Disney parks after he raised a Trump banner on the ride Splash Mountain. This is the latest in a run of banner demonstrations by Cini promoting Trump 2020 this year, including a massive sign hanging from the Main Street train station. The company's policy says the guests are prohibited from raising banners or flags used to incite a crowd. Cini claims he was removed because of his views, but the company insists it is purely because Cini continually broke policy.
The newly elected members to the U.S. House of Representatives and Senate have arrived in Washington for orientation, and the group includes a record number of women to win seats in the House, but there are some key races like the Florida Senate race that are still undecided. Kelly Smoot had this report from Washington.
There are lots of new faces.
You know, I have butterflies, but I'm excited.
And a couple of old friends.
How are you doing? How are you doing?
All in Washington for congressional orientation.
It's thrilling, absolutely thrilling.
Where the newly elected members of both the U.S. House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate descend on Washington for training and party leadership elections.
It feels a little bit like you're kind of heading into that first day of school in your classroom.
I've been through a few of these over the years.
Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell welcomed the freshman Republicans. He was also reelected Wednesday as the Senate Majority Leader for the next 2 years.
And we're excited about maintaining our majority and growing our majority.
Here we are in the majority.
On the House side, the Democrats also meeting to decide whether to support Nancy Pelosi as the next Speaker of the House. Pelosi has the support of many longtime representatives.
I support Nancy Pelosi 1,000,000%.
But a number of incoming House Democrats are calling for change at the top.
At this time, Nancy Pelosi does not have my support. We're waiting to see if somebody else is going to emerge to challenge her.
I think it's a new time, and there's been some change, and I think it would be good if we had some change in leadership as well.
And that's all in spite of the fact that some races, like the Florida Senate race between incumbent Senator Bill Nelson and Florida Governor Rick Scott, and a number of House seats, have still not been decided. In Washington, I'm Kelly Smoot.
Congressman Kevin McCarthy was elected House Minority Leader Wednesday. The California Republican will lead House GOP members after Speaker Paul Ryan leaves Capitol Hill at the end of his term in January. The vote was overwhelmingly in support of McCarthy at 159 to 43.
Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos is being sued. On Tuesday, DeVos was accused by legal advocate group, the Housing and Economic Rights Advocates, of failing to cancel student debt for students whose for-profit universities were shut down. Currently, over 100,000 students are waiting for the government to provide debt relief in regards to this issue. The rules in question grant tuition relief to students who could not complete their education after their schools shut down. A representative for DeVos claims relief will come soon.
Parkland shooter Nicholas Cruz took a jail guard's stun gun in a fight this past Tuesday. The fight started after the jail guard asked Cruz to not drag his sandals on the ground while walking. The 20-year-old is currently awaiting trial for the charges held against him for the mass shooting back in February and is now facing additional charges for assault, battery, and the use of an electric weapon. Prosecutors say Cruz could possibly be facing the death penalty.
Israel's defense secretary has resigned. Avigdor Lieberman is stepping down after right-wing leaders in Israel are calling his decisions to call a ceasefire with Palestine a form of, quote, giving in to terror, unquote. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu defended the ceasefire decision, stating, a leader does the right thing even when it is difficult. Netanyahu is now tasked with the decision to either assign the role of defense secretary to another candidate or take the helm himself.
Lion Air is claiming aircraft manufacturing company Boeing withheld information which could have led to the crash last month. Aircraft officials told CNN Boeing's manual did not include vital information about a feature potentially causing the plane to dive, killing 189 on board. Lion Air's claim came after Boeing was accused yesterday by the Allied Pilots Association of failing to release potential dangers of new aircraft features. Investigators are examining whether Boeing played a role in the crash.
The first wave of Central American migrants from the group that formed last month have now reached the U.S.-Mexico border. Many, with the goal of crossing into the U.S., now literally are within sight. But the Trump administration stance hasn't changed. John Lorick reports.
About 100 migrant men, women, and children are now in Tijuana, where they wait at a shelter, hoping to cross into the U.S. for a better future. They are the first of a much larger group to reach the border.
That they can give their kids an education, that they can actually be free from violence and rape and murder. And it sounds extreme, but that's exactly what's going on here.
Some of the migrants traveled more than 2,000 miles, but the Trump administration hasn't budged an inch, assigning 5,900 troops to the border region, according to one defense official.
No nation can allow its borders to be overrun, and that's an invasion.
2 members of the administration will visit parts of the Texas border Wednesday. Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen will tour with the Northern Command. Defense Secretary James Mattis will be in McAllen, taking note of expenses.
We'll update you on costs as they become known. Obviously, the units executing the border mission have got to report them in up here, but we are capturing the cost.
Critics of the White House say having troops on the border because of the migrants is a mistake.
Using our troops as political pawns for his political interests is just wrong.
I am not really interested in the politics. I'm interested in how we as people can learn to embrace the immigrant.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Aid groups say the remaining members of the caravan are still more than 1,000 miles away from the U.S. border. Coming up later tonight, coming up the next block, Jake Vanderbrook is going to give us sports.
You're watching WTOP 10 Nightly News.
You know who's going off in fantasy this week? Drew Brees.
Brees with time.
You know, you guys are sleeping on Odell Beckham Jr., though. I think he's scoring 3 TDs this week.
And it throws it Beckham across the middle.
No, tell me, the Bears' defense is what's going to go off this week. I mean, holy
Chicago Bears.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
As an American, it's hard to hear that we have a serious hunger issue in our country. And as a parent, it's even harder to hear that 1 in 5 of our kids struggles with hunger, especially when billions of pounds of good food are wasted every year. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide billions of meals to families in need right in your community. Visit feedingamerica.org to support Feeding America and your local food bank. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Want to know all the latest things pop culture? Tune in to Let's Talk About It every other Monday at 10 p.m.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Jake Vanderbrook, and it's time for your sports update. The State University of New York Athletic Conference has elected 3 Oswego athletes: Anthony Passero, men's hockey; Alex Davey, men's swimming and diving. And for the women, it goes to Miranda Frascator, as they were elected as Athletes of the Week. Passero tallied his first 2 goals as a Laker over in the weekend in the wins against Canton and number 5 Hobart. Davey earned 2 individual wins in the 50 and 100-yard freestyle to help the men defeat Alfred State last Saturday. Frascator recorded both the 1 and 3 meter diving events and wins against those. The sophomore is currently 6-2, winning 6 of the 8 diving events she has participated in this season, while placing second in both her losses. Senior Allison Sullivan of the Oswego State women's volleyball team has added to her postseason accolades with an honorable mention All-Region Award, as announced by the American Volleyball Coaches Association this past weekend. This is the first all-region recognition for the middle blocker from Denham, Massachusetts, and 5th in the Lakers program history. Sullivan joins Aaron Hamlin and Ariel Morosky as the other Lakers to be selected for the prestigious honor.
Switching over to some high school football out of Section 3, 3 area teams were made alive in the state football playoffs. Cicero North, Syracuse, Indian River, and Skaneateles will play in the state semifinals Friday and Saturday at Union Endicott High School. Cicero North Syracuse will take on Aquinas out of Section 5 in the Class AA semifinals for a 7 p.m. kickoff on Saturday. Indian River will go up against West Seneca East for 8 p.m. kickoff on Friday in Class A. And in Class B, Skaneateles will square off with Batavia out of Section 5 for a 3 p.m. kickoff on Saturday. For more information on these games, just go to www.syracuse.com. Sticking with Syracuse football, the Orange have inched up to number 12 in this week's college football playoff rankings. This past Saturday, Syracuse travels to Yankee Stadium for a meeting against number 3 Notre Dame. Kickoff is set for 2:30 p.m. on Saturday. The game will be nationally televised on NBC. Sticking with the Orange, Joe Girard III has signed a letter to play with the Orange starting next season. He is the 4th player this season to sign with the Orange. He is known to be a prolific scorer with exceptional range and accuracy on his jump shot. Last year as a junior, he averaged 50 points a game. The Glensfall native is entering his senior year with over 3,300 points scored in his high school career. Now to some hockey. Last night in the NHL, the Buffalo Sabres hosted the Tampa Bay Lightning. Let's jump right to the highlights. We got Jeff Skinner taking the rebound to convert as the Buffalo Sabres are up by a score of 1-0 as we get another look there as he goes backhand on the rebound. But then it's going to be Sherry. He's going to pass it to Okposo, and he goes dirty wrister on Luis Dominique as the Sabres take a 2-0 lead. But just seconds after that, Tampa Bay just cleared the puck, and Anthony Cirelli, he has a breakaway opportunity, and he's going to convert as the Lightning close the gap to 1. But the story in this game is going to Carter Colton's efforts in the net. Man, oh man, Alex Kaloran, he's going to go with a wrister, but that's going to be saved with the right-hand glove by Holton. But then last seconds effort here, Stamkos, and then he's going to give that pass to Kucherov for the one-timer. He's not able to do it. Man, oh man, what a great game he played with as he recorded 29 saves in the Buffalo win as they won by a score of 2-1.
I want to bring it back for like 1 second to the Syracuse Notre Dame game.
Yeah.
On a strictly superficial standpoint, have you seen Notre Dame's uniforms?
No, I have not.
They're not sports, but they're real bad, right?
Really?
Hot take from the bench. But
it's their new uniforms.
They're wearing it just for this game. It's like the Yankee pinstripe pants. It's really bad. Google
Yikes.
it. It's awful.
All right.
How are you guys doing over here?
Yeah, please tell me we're not getting snow. Please, I can't deal with it. Please.
We're actually going to have a pretty decent-sized storm tomorrow. Tomorrow night, 3 to 6 inches of snow, and even heavier as we get towards Syracuse and further south and east, over a foot.
Right, got it. It's winter. We're going to get snow. Anyway, that is all the time we have tonight. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good night.
Be sure to stay tuned for our Impractical Improv. Thank you for watching. Have a great night, everyone.
Good night.
Guys, I don't feel so good. Shouldn't have had that chili for lunch.
The inherent right to work is one of the elemental privileges of a free people. Endowed, as our nation is, with abundant physical resources, and inspired as it should be to make those resources and opportunities available for the enjoyment of all, we approach reemployment with the real hope of finding a better answer than we have now.
Donate to Goodwill, where your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.